Hey, what's up guys? So I got this case for my Switch on eBay and I just figured to put a little video together showcasing it and telling you what I like and don't like about it. Okay, so this is the back plate of the case. Be forewarned, I love transparent cases. I'm not sure how well this will turn out on camera. So the cool thing about this is that this is not the only part of the case. It did not come with a front protector because as far as I know, no one really makes those yet. But what it did come with, which I thought was really awesome and why I chose this over others, it came with cases for your Joy-Cons. Whoops. So you can actually place your Joy-Cons in these and they'll obviously be protected just like your system, which I think is great considering they're controllers that people would drop all the time. You know, if you're clumsy. And they came with front plates too. So now I'll demonstrate putting them on the system and telling you how they feel, how the buttons and joysticks feel, how it is getting the Joy-Cons on and off, and other things. Of course, you'd rather want to take the entire system apart to put them on. So actually first, I'm actually just going to put the back plate onto the Nintendo Switch itself, since, well, that would be the easiest thing. And there, just like that, it snaps right on. Not a lot of adjustments need to be made. It fits like a glove. It feels really nice. Yeah, I have stickers on my Switch. I don't really care too much about if the etching comes off or whatever because I plan on getting another Switch anyway. But yeah, this is how it looks on the system itself. It's really sleek. It's very smooth. It's glossy, but it's not the type of gloss that feels slippery. It's very nice. I do have a screen protector on my Switch, so my entire console pretty much is protected. Now, it actually has cutouts for the vents on the Switch, and they're very close. So the airflow will be very nice. All of the ports and everything are easily accessible. All of the buttons, the rails for the Joy-Cons, and of course the charger port and the little piece that holds the Switch down. So you can actually have this case on your Switch and have it docked at the same time. I will demonstrate that later on. So now I'll actually put the Joy-Cons in their cases. So it's as easy as just taking the Joy-Cons and sliding them in. What is really great about this set is, as I had mentioned earlier, it comes with a front plate for the Joy-Cons. So not only is your Joy-Con covered, but it actually has the same surface all around it. So instead of having to feel the mat of the Joy-Con and then the plastic of the case, you can just feel the plastic all over. And the plastic is actually a very nice plastic. It doesn't have a cheapy feel or anything like that. It actually feels really nice. Once again, just snap the front plate in and that's it. Your Joy-Con is secure, ready to be played. One thing that I really like about these cases is if you look on the back of your Joy-Cons and you see how the ZL and the ZR buttons protrude from the Joy-Con a little bit, they actually included that on the bottom of these cases, an added bit of plastic, so that when you lay it down, whether it's the Switch connected with the Joy-Cons or just the Joy-Cons themselves, they actually are level instead of placing your system down and having them slide or be at a slanted angle. And it does not impede putting the Joy-Cons onto the system or removing them whatsoever. And this is what it looks like all put together. And like I said, putting the system down, it's very nice. I don't have to worry about having the system either slide from a slanted surface or have the system itself slanted. Now, one thing that I know is going to be an obvious question is, how can you actually put the system into the dock with a case on it? Well, that's something that I thought of myself when I had read the ad, and I noticed that the case is actually very sturdy, but also very, very thin. You cannot see that whatsoever. It's thin enough where I can actually slide it in and out of the dock. A little harder than putting the actual console only in, but not difficult at all. As I said, all the ports are readily accessible. There's nothing that's obstructed or obscured. Okay, so let's just pretend for a second that this dock is actually connected to a power source and TV. So like I said, it's very thin, so you can just slide it in with the system, and that should be it. Truth be told, it's actually a snugger fit than you expect. It's not super duper tight, but it is tight enough where the dock is actually making contact with the screen a little bit. So if you're worried about your Switch becoming scratched from inserting and removing it from the dock, then I'd suggest having a screen protector. I have one of those hard plastic / tempered glass screen protectors on my Switch, so I'm not really that worried. I've also already placed my Switch into 3 different docks, this one being one of them, and I haven't noticed anything other than slight smudges that I can actually just wipe off, just like a fingerprint. And again, like I said, there's no obstructions with getting the Joy-Cons on or off. It's just that easy. It's very nice. And you don't have to worry about taking the case off to remove the Joy-Cons, taking the case off to get the system out of the dock. It does not impede your use of the system whatsoever. So, one thing I actually dislike about this case is that the case itself is just as thick as the buttons are risen from the Joy-Cons. So as you can see, you can't actually see the buttons. There is enough space where you can press them, put your fingers there, and like they feel nice. But on the back, the Joy-Con release buttons actually do take a second longer in my use to find. And that's because underneath the ZL and ZR, there's a risen piece of plastic, like I said, that keeps the Joy-Cons, or system if they're connected, level. It's a minor problem if you're like me and you have a second set of Joy-Cons that you keep connected to your system at all times. And I decided to not use these because they're clear and you wouldn't be able to see the case. But other than that, I actually think that this is a really solid idea. All in all, I really like this case. I recommend it if you're looking for a case that doesn't sacrifice functionality for mobility. Meaning, I can take the Joy-Cons off of this case without having to sacrifice the Joy-Cons being protected. Most other cases that I've seen, and like I said, this is why I got this case, they cover the entire system and don't allow you to remove the Joy-Cons, or even place it in the dock. I like this one because it does those things. Now, a deal breaker for you might be the button thing that I mentioned. You can't really see the buttons, it's pretty shallow, and the system itself has a tighter fit in the dock than normal. If that doesn't bother you too much, then I recommend this all the way. But wait, there's more. I thought it'd be cool to show you guys what clear Joy-Cons look like inside of the clear Joy-Con case. Because personally, I can't really tell that there's a case on it, and I really like how they look. I think they look really sleek. Can't even tell that it's there. Or rather, you can't even tell that it's a case. It just looks like it's just the Joy-Con.